Hey guys, what's up? Z here, and I have the Elephone P8 Mini, a pretty uninteresting cheap phone at first glance, but then the specs are pretty crazy for the price. The original price is $140 and you get an MTK 6750, okay that's normal, but you get 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, 1080p screen, and you also get a 13 megapixel and 2 megapixel back camera and a 16 megapixel front camera as well. All that for just $140, which is pretty crazy, but let's see if this phone is good first. I got the blue version of the P8 Mini, which does look different. The phone is pretty compact also, so easy to use with one hand. The build quality is just okay though. It's mostly plastic with a metal plate on the back to make it feel better. There are 3 capacitive buttons below the screen as well. Build quality here is just okay. So the screen here is nice. The colors are so deep and saturated that if you put this phone side by side with my Zux T2 and the Mi 6, this one looks way better because of how nice the colors look. And this is an LCD, not an AMOLED, which is super impressive. The screen doesn't get too bright though, about 400 nits max, which is nothing to write home about. The screen is a touch insensitive though. I have to press down harder with my callous fingers, but my normal fingers are fine. The audio here is very loud, and max volume the audio is not very clear. It seems overpowered by a bit of noise, and there's not a lot of bass either, but the speakers are still fine for music and TV. The battery life here is average, which is pretty surprising with only a 2680 mAh battery. I was expecting abysmal battery life here. I got around 3.5 to 4 hours of screen on time, mostly light use, Reddit, web browsing, social media, and like, so nothing too crazy. Heavy users definitely cannot make it through a day, medium users probably are okay, and light users are definitely okay. The software experience is good. Navigating through the phone is fast and zippy, not as fast as more expensive phones, but definitely fast enough for average users. Opening and closing apps was fast, but when you start seeing slowdowns are bigger apps and games, that those take slightly longer to load. Multitasking is great with 4 gigs of RAM. Gaming was a little bit unusual because I can play all the intense games no problem, but I saw some lag on Asphalt Extreme, which is strange since I didn't see any lag in any of the other games. Casual games are great though. The fingerprint sensor does fine, fast and accurate enough. So the camera is a mixed bag. On one hand, I can get some pretty good photos in normal mode. Colors are deep and saturated. There is a nice level of detail, definitely something I was not expecting from Elephone. You do lose a bit of dynamic range though. HDR actually makes the photos look worse. It washes out the colors in an attempt to get that dynamic range up to par, so I really don't recommend turning HDR on. And in addition, it is very hard to keep your phone steady to prevent any blurring in HDR mode. Moving on to bokeh mode, it adds bokeh to photos, yes, but it lowers the overall quality of the picture, so I do recommend you stick to normal mode for now. It takes the best photos. I also find that the camera sometimes just takes bad photos for no reason, but if you snap a second time, it's usually fine. The front camera is 16 MP and is pretty good for a front-facing camera, but it's still worse for some reason than the back one. Video quality is decent for a full HD camera, but it has trouble focusing, so you gotta help it out by tapping on the subject yourself. So yeah, in conclusion, this phone definitely has problems, but the P8 Mini is still super great value for the price. Performance is good, the screen looks beautiful, and I really enjoyed using the P8 Mini. The biggest problems, battery life is just average, the camera can be inconsistent, and the screen is a little insensitive. But overall, I do highly recommend the P8 Mini, great value for money. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Likes and subs would be awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.